And welcome back to the Hooch, everybody. Got Koi Mac here, and the one and the Michael Harris.
That's right. On a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it is. It is a Sunday
Evening.
afternoon.
Evening.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's evening.
Afternoon and evening. When does the
Yeah.
afternoon end, and when does it start?
Time is irrelevant. Time is an illusion.
It is. It is. It is illusion. So you know what else is an illusion?
What?
Is sanity in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had to share. This is going to be the first thing we're going to cover today because it's
Mhm.
absolutely stupid. And that would be PETA claiming that cow's milk has long been the symbol used by white supremacists.
Indeed.
So apparently, this is to ditch dairy. By the way, they want you to eat plants. That's their whole goal, right? So and then one from 2018, they're like, white supremacists are guzzling cow milk in an effort to mock people of color who are lactose intolerant.
I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm not. You know, there's a study out there. There was a study conducted in 2018.
Yeah.
Do you know that 7% of U.S. citizens believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows? It's a true study.
I don't want to live on this planet. There's actually people that believe that. My God.
There's actually people out there, since we're talking about cows, didn't know that a hamburger was made from beef. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the world we live in. We live in a world of, madness to where they think, and people actually believe this study that you just showed, that white milk, and this isn't the first time we heard this, that white milk is a form of white supremacy. That's
the white
insanity.
supremacy from some PETA. So, let's read their article. Why cow's milk is the perfect drink for white supremacists. As when Christoph Waltz here in Glorious Bastard drinks a glass of milk in a character in a pivotal scene of Get Out sips cow secretion. Dairy milk has long been embraced by a symbol of white supremacy. You had to go with Inglorious Bastards for your opening line. That Christoph Waltz character, a fictional character in a movie.
What color is breast milk?
It's white.
Yeah. So I guess all women.
Well, I guess it's technically a creamy color if you really want to break it down.
Well, it's still, white. All women create in their body when they're pregnant have the ability to create a form of white supremacy.
Right. Geneticists.
All women are white supremacists.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So geneticists are alarmed that white nationalists who are now using milk emojis and sharing photos of themselves chugging milk to celebrate their whiteness. Their whiteness. Okay. And are contorting science and using it as an excuse to hate. In a recent article in the New York Times, evolutionary biologists stated that because of genetic mutation among Europeans, white people are more likely to be able to digest lactose. White nationalists are arguing that being able to drink another animal's breast milk somehow indicates that they're of the master race.
Okay. So what about white people? Because I know some white people that are lactose intolerant. What about them?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, let's just ignore that fact, or the fact that the Mongols lived off of horse milk for their bit. So let's forget about all of that.
Never mind that. Never mind the truth. Yeah.
We'll forget about it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's found in the genetic mutation allows humans to digest milk. Also occurs in black African cattle farmers. Oh, so you admit it's not just white people in your own thing. It's so it might be environmental factors that contribute to why somebody is lactose intolerant and not.
You know what another factor that it contribute to lactose intolerant? Vaccines as a child.
I haven't seen that study or control, but
you never know, man, because for me, in order, drinking milk is a natural thing, whether it's from your mother, from a cow, it's something that's natural. So what if all the vaccines that they give kids makes them lactose intolerant? Let that spin around in the noggin a little bit.
Anyway, it's just more PETA propaganda, basically.
Yeah,
it is. This article, and it's like I said, it's in the world of stupid. Like PETA is one of those one of those organizations that are absolutely stupid to begin with. Like I really despise PETA because they are everything they preach that they hate. So there was actually another article that came out. I need to find it because it was hilarious.
But how many animals does PETA kill?
They've killed the majority of the animals that they've rescued.
Okay. Yeah.
So just pointing that out there.
Just, those silly facts, just
little facts unknown to people
here and there.
But I'm trying to remember what it was, but recently the scientists found out that plants can scream.
I believe it.
And so like they know they're being eaten or something like that. And one of those things is like, so what are vegans going to eat now if plants can feel pain?
Honestly, I it's believable. I me and my hippie spiritual nature, I believe that all things on this earth are living, breathing organisms, everything.
Yeah.
So it's believable that a plant probably does scream when you pull it from its roots.
So you can actually like almond milk is just basically like water infusion. If you really want to call it something, it's not really milk. It's just an infusion drink.
Yeah.
If you really want to bring it like that.
And it's really easy to make too.
But yeah, Chad, thanks for making it in today. If you missed what we were talking about, we're talking about PETA thinking that milk is white supremacy and drinking it and is making fun of black people because they're lactose intolerant. It's like, man.
Do they think, every time I hear them say people of color or black people or this or that or this can't do this, that to me is very insulting and it's a slap in the face. No one in my family is lactose intolerant that I know of. No one.
I have the perfect book for PETA that they need to be reading. And it is this. No, it's Modifying Retarded Behavior.
Oh yeah. Can't say that word though.
I didn't say it. I'm reading the title of a book.
Okay.
I'm saying they probably might want to read that book.
Yes.
About modifying their slow behavior.
Yeah,
because that's all retarded means is slow, right?
And it's just another form of socialism. PETA's just another branch of socialism, and because they want everyone to live exactly as they do. Eventually, they say we can't eat meat anymore, and then it's going to be like we can't eat certain plants because once they found out plants scream, they're going to like, you can't eat that bundle of kale, those tomatoes, you can't eat those. And then what can we eat? Tree bark. Oh, it hurts when
you can't eat anything. Just die. That's
just
what they want.
Air. That's all we need.
You die. You can only eat air.
Yeah, air. Just.
It's like, what do you like? Realize that you are part of the natural order of things, and animals eat other animals, and animals eat plants, and then we're all part of the ecosystem that exists. Being in balance with the ecosystem is the ultimate goal that we should be trying to attain. But no, you just want to be stupid.
Yeah.
So, and other days of stupid, I have a few videos lined up for us to watch to enjoy all together, friends. Here's the first one.
Oh,
yeah.
But did he die?
But did he die? And today in stupid, I learned backflips hurt.
Yeah. That wasn't, that hurt.
That had to have hurt, and I felt it in my neck.
That reminds me of that Olympic diver. You remember that guy that sprung off the board and hit his head on it during the Olympics? That's that kind of.
I can imagine that being something absolutely horrible, like embarrassing to the max, just because like it's high competition,
and
you just messed it up royally.
Yeah, and you'll go down in history as that guy that
messed up at the Olympics.
Yeah, that hit his head on a board.
The person who wins in the dumb Olympics is this next video.
Stupid is as stupid does.
Michael, do you remember grenade training?
Yes. Please don't let someone...
Если вдруг кто-то не понял, для вас объясняю еще раз.
Oh, God.
Смонтируем же потом, да?
To your chest.
Well, I mean, I think that was Russian. I think she was Russian anyway.
Yeah, it sounded Russian.
Let's see. The next video, actually, I thought was really funny because It reminds me of most liberals when they try to like make certain arguments.
Are they crying?
No. It's just
wearing
like
a diaper.
It's PETA making arguments.
I can't see fucking shit out of this.
That eye, man.
Oh, poor cat. Poor thing.
Oh, love it. I love it. You got to have these videos that make people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because of the world's like we already got some heavy topics we're going to talk about later with Starfield in New Mexico going up. Here's another one I wanted to get your take on, Michael. I sent it. It was like last week. I sent it to you, so I don't know if you remember it. But it's this Lori reaction video that I thought was really good. I forgot to put it up. There we go. So the air horn thing.
Lawyer's take.
Oh.
I think my answer to this question will surprise you. Blowing an air horn in someone else's ear is actually not a criminal battery. Instead, it's a crime called mayhem, which is causing or risking serious damage to another's body part. But was it a crime to throw the prankster in the lake? The law allows you to take responsive action to protect yourself against future harm so long it's proportional to the harm faced. In this case, if the big man just pushed him away, he risked getting another air horn to his ear. Throwing him in the lake solved that problem, didn't hurt the criminal, and therefore it was lawful self-defense.
Indeed.
So like you can throw somebody in a lake because it is proportional to what was happening to you, according to that lawyer.
Well, he deserved it. A lot of those pranksters, get what they deserve a lot of times. I mean, you don't go up to a stranger, if it was a stranger or if it was, let's think like that. But let's say that guy was a stranger and just do that to someone without any consequences and repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a big dude like that. Do you think he's just going to sit there and take it? No, lucky he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, he could have punched him in the face and that would have been like more of an escalation, but instead he just lifted him and threw him in there. Obviously, I think it's a staged video, but still, it's one of those things that like absolutely hilarious to see somebody get thrown off a bridge. It's like,
and the thing is, man, those air horns aren't quiet. They're not a nice thing to be doing in someone's ear. That can actually blow your eardrum out. They're loud, very loud.
Absolutely. I've had one of those pretty close to me, and it was not a fun time.
No, it's not.
Absolutely. But I think a lot of people do that these days. They do these like prank videos, and I know most of them are staged, but still at the same time, it's like you probably shouldn't be going up to random people. I think there was somebody that actually got killed recently because of it too.
Yeah,
or shot or something. I don't remember. It was like
that young black kid. Or was it a white kid? One of their
there's a few of them out there.
Yeah, they did a prank and they ended up getting shot over it, and that's what you have to worry about.
Yep.
Those videos, those prank videos where they're going up the escalator and somebody's touching this dude's, girlfriend's hand,
touching his arm. Yeah. Oh
yeah.
God.
You just don't touch
that one.
That's crazy.
That is no, don't do that.
I'm already super protective, man. Don't do nothing like that. Don't do it.
And in today, in stupid is as stupid does.
Yeah. Oh shit. Of course. Yep. There you go. Okay. Good. Real nice. Good job.
Oh man.
I mean, like, what goes through people's heads? I mean, I've done some stupid stuff in my life, but yeah, I've done some stuff that could have probably killed me too. Well, let me not be a hypocrite. I'm not going to judge anybody. They did it for clicks and likes. Back then, we didn't do it for clicks and likes. We just did it because we were
dumb.
Yeah, we were dumb.
We did stupid things because we were stupid, not because we were trying to get attention.
That's true. Like jumping out of planes. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Multiple times. That was real.
Or
stupid.
pretending you're a wrestler and putting your friend through a table. You did that because it was fun, not because you were trying to get clout. You just did it because you thought it was funny.
Setting your hand on fire with rubbing alcohol. That was pretty dumb, That is, we did stupid stuff, man. But
a lot of people did stupid stuff back in
this day and age, man. I just don't see it anymore. I'm not going to hurt myself to get a click on a video, unless you're going to pay me a couple gazillion dollars. Then I might.
That's too old for that shit.
Yeah, I don't feel
that's
the
what it
same.
come down to, is like, I'm too old for that shit. You sent this to me. This the Mandela effect, the cornucopia being found.
Oh, see, you was right.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
And we was right? We said there was a cornucopia.
This picture I saw it on Facebook. I knew it. I knew
and that's
there was a
that's the logo I remember
on Fruit of the Looms. Because why else would I know the word cornucopia? Like Thanksgiving, maybe, but no, I remember this vividly. And Fruit of the Looms is like, no, it was never there. It was just a fruit. Y'all remember this too, right? Like, I'm not just bugging. Can we also talk about Bernstein? Stain on my shirt?
So
No,
like, I remember that. I remember that thing. So like,
I remember the cornucopia. That made that Fruit of the Looms logo very iconic. I mean, that's how you recognize it was Fruit of the Loom. You know, based from the cornucopia. But yeah, we was right. Mandela effect. CERN, thank you, CERN. Thank you a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it.
Yeah. And kind of like one of the funny videos section, I found this dude. It was absolutely hilarious. It's a redneck in abroad.
Abroad.
Yeah. Rednecks abroad.
Hey, my name's Cody LeVeaux, and I'm a redneck abroad. Through a series of unfortunate events, I'm currently stuck in the city of Reykjavik, Iceland. So we're going to try to do what we can to make the best of it. Now, I already done parked the car, and I parked it at the corner of Vestergata and shit.
It's just hilarious, man. It's like that sounds like every like Southern redneck I know. It's like Vestergata. You gotta say it with like that enunciation.
Vestergata.
The gata. I gotta get it. It's I like when we can have things like that to enjoy. Just like little things that are funny, because today there's too many.
Yeah, the world's
too much wokeness and other nonsense that we have to deal with. Yeah, there's always chaos. I did in terms of chaos, I did find somebody else that was really interesting. I don't know if you've ever. Do you know what a VTuber is?
A VTuber? No, I don't.
A VTuber is somebody that is a streamer who uses a avatar as their kind of personality, right? So instead of like us being talking heads like this, they create a character, a 2-dimensional character, 3-dimensional character, and they be that character. And I sent this video to you. I don't know if you actually watched it, but I found this person purely by chance. And they are based AF. And it's hilarious listening to this crazy, not crazy, but I would say like your conspiratorial mind coming out of an anime waifu. Basically.
I'm a walking conspiracy.
So I wanted to share with our chat and our audience this what is it? I don't know. Is it Pippa? I don't know. Anyway, listen, shit's hilarious.
You probably know the meme, if you're from the United States, that the state of California is always on fire. And actually, if you look behind me right here, you'll see this post, and it says all these images were captured during the wildfires in California. Is this evidence that powerful lasers were used to cause these fires? Powerful lasers, oh my god, who would ever do such a thing? Surely not the US government, right? You might be saying, oh no, Pippa, shut up. There is no way the US government would set their own state on fire. There is no way that the government has weather control abilities in general. That is fucking crazy, Pippa. That is a conspiracy theory. You're insane. And to that I say, Operation Popeye. Sponsored by the Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, the U.S. Air Force used chemicals, lead iodide, and silver iodide to make the monsoon season last longer in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. The goal was to destroy roads and cause landslides so military supplies could not be transported as easily. Would they do this to their own people? I don't know. I'm just saying that they can.
It's very true. You know, we talk about cloud seeding and stuff like that. You know, cloud seeding has been around for, decades. They used it during the wartime. So it's not new technology. But people better believe that when all these crazy storms, the biggest storm on the East Coast was created, that was man-made.
Yeah, right. So it's like they're saying that like cloud seeding and weather manipulation isn't real. It's like, yeah, but there's operations the U.S. government has been involved in and has used previously for the exact effect. Same thing with Project Blue Beam and the fact that they have direct energy weapons they've been working on for the last 30 years. There's Operation Star Wars, which was put in place by Reagan. So Yeah. I just thought it was funny that you found this person who is a VTuber who looks like an anime person being based like Michael. It just reminded me of you. I was like, oh man, that's hilarious.
I'm very based. I'm super based.
So like I like I said, found this person purely by chance. I thought it was funny. I wanted to share with you all.
Yeah, that's a good one because I believe it.
It is true. It's like I didn't even know about Operation Popeye until I was informed by Pippa. Pippa informed me of something I did not know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah, see, yeah, that's true. Now I know. Now you know.
Mm-hmm.
We all know now. So speaking of which, I guess we'll move on to our main topics today. We're going to talk about the wokeness and the gaming industry and in Hollywood and all that stuff. It's all tied together. There also is a new ruling that I wanted to that's trending on Twitter. Even Elon Musk has or X, formerly Twitter, is talking about the California State Assembly has just passed a bill allowing parents to lose custody of their children if they refuse to accept their children's gender transition.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people are saying, what's the big deal about pronouns, right? In the video game. It's all tied together. Everything is tied together. It's not just about the pronouns. It's about everything being interjected and pushed in our face for a agenda that they're trying to pass. So yeah, it's not just about the pronouns. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you choose it in your character creation. It's the point that it's all tied to an agenda, every single bit of it. So this week, there was a prominent streamer who went off on a rant. He's an English streamer, and he's getting lots of backlash from people, but he's like, I don't care. He's based too.
I think I know who this guy is.
So I think he goes by something Babyface. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but anyway, this is his rant I wanted to share.
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off. Fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day.
Yep.
That's right.
Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one-hived mind twat waffle.
Twat waffle.
That's all you fucking are.
Yeah, no, right.
And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's right to be mad.
Yeah, he is. He's right, and it's
that's the end of it. But
yeah, it's everywhere. No matter where you go, no matter what you turn on, when it comes to movie, TV, video games, books, it's shoved in everyone's faces. Why not just make everything just neutral? You know, why does all this gender ideology, all these pronouns have to be shoved in our kids' face, or even some adults that, you know, do this stuff? I just don't get it. There's something more sinister and deep behind it.
Yeah, because like I said, it's not just one thing. It's all tied together. Like you say, this is what the left will say. It's like, oh, it's just pronouns. Well, why are you so afraid of pronouns? I'm not afraid of pronouns. I'm afraid of what you're trying to do behind the scenes. I'm afraid of what you're trying to push on our kids, and I'm tired in the things that you're pushing on to politics, because it's not just pronouns.
No,
and you know it's not, and that's a lie. You saying it's just pronouns is not your end goal. Your end goal is to get what you want. That's the problem. That's what we're worried about. So like I said, it's like it, and they keep saying that it's just the pronouns. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the pronouns. No, it's not. It's about the ideology.
And you know, the problem is that a lot of us have gone our whole adult lives without this thrown in our face, and a lot of us have turned out perfectly fine. We're not bigots. We're not racist. We don't hate people for what they want to do with their lives or whatever. We've gone our whole life and we're perfectly fine. All of a sudden, now they're pushing it and kind of force feeding it to us, to people that just don't care. You know, that's forcing you to look at something, think about something, and almost buy into it. Because when you buy the product, you're buying into that ideology, you know.
Right.
And people are tired of it. People are tired of turning on their TV, seeing some gender neutral. People are tired of them remaking movies to make it about a certain race and changing the identities of the character. You know, people are tired of it.
Yeah.
And we need more people that are social media people to start voicing their opinion about it. Stop buying into it.
And so, like, the other part of this controversy is the fact that there's a prominent mod site, Nexus Mods. It's one of the biggest places you can get mods for games. Has come out and said that they will delist any mod that removes pronoun modifiers from Bethesda's Starfield. Right. So it's just pronouns. It doesn't actually do anything for the game. Then why ban people from making a mod that removes it? Because it's their game, right? They can play it how they want. But we're going to remove it
for it. Yeah, of course. So like you said, it's a lot deeper than what they're saying. It goes way deeper than just pronouns. They want to force people to use the proper pronouns. I wouldn't be surprised if it came down to where they made the pronouns, you know, very, very specific. Cis. You know, it's not going to just be male or female no more. They're going to add that little cis in there to where you have to pick cis. It's just a way to indoctrinate our kids, man, to call themselves a certain way and, you know, and act a certain way.
Yeah. So one of the things that they said the site's policy is thus: we are for inclusivity, we are for diversity. We think someone who is uploading a mod to our site with the intent of deliberately be against inclusivity or diversity, then they will take action against it. The same goes for people admitting to troll other users with mods deliberately to cause a rise. For our part, we're endeavor a better part of our moderating our website for those themselves. So it's the same woke garbage.
Yeah.
That they always do. Now, I was trying to find the quote from him, but there was another one where the person starting Nexus Mods basically says that if you don't like our policy, then you can kindly delete your account.
Everyone should delete their account, and they're going to regret. They're going to regret doing that. You know how the American people are, man. And, you know, especially on the right, if they're not satisfied, delete your account and don't pay into it no more.
Yeah,
and they're going to see that game go to crap. They're going to see their company go to crap real fast. So don't don't throw something out like that and think people won't freaking do it, because they will.
Because they will.
They will do it.
Well, like I said, people keep thinking that what's the big deal about having inclusivity? What's the big deal about diversity? It's not that. Nobody really cares about what color you are. At least we didn't until you had to put it in everything. Nobody cares like that you're gay or straight. Like, for the most part, there's some people that don't like it, some people that do. Okay, whatever. Nobody cares. That's the whole goal of being equal, is for nobody to care. It's like, hey, I'm gay. Okay, you want a cookie? Like, that's the attitude that that's how you get to be equal, is when nobody cares. You're not special. Either you want to be special or you want people to not care. Because that's what it means to be equal, is when nobody cares. Period.
Yeah, and a lot of people in this woke community, a lot of it has to do with self-esteem issues. Because if you didn't have low self-esteem, you wouldn't need nobody to recognize you as anything, especially in a video game. I'm talking to an avatar right now. I don't care what my avatar is. It's just a character I'm playing.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of it is them wanting to be accepted. and they want people to, give them some type of praise. They want some type of interaction, whether it's good or bad, and a lot of times they're going to get the negative. And I think this is, like you said, it's more sinister, it goes deeper. This is a way to draw out the people that they consider bigots. If they can draw them out, they can publicly shame them and delete their content. So this company can go back and say, we deleted over 10,000, users for their bigoted stuff on
their bigoted viewers
will not be tolerated.
We will not tolerate bigotry in this place. Yeah. It's basically what the Nexus mod founder said. And here's the other thing. It's like Starfield itself is not a good game. I mean, it's okay, but it's not a good game. It really isn't. And if we can break it down and further why it's not, lots of people have done reviews on it. Here's mine. It's plastic and soulless. That's what I would describe Starfield as. It can be fun. I've been playing it for this last week since it came out. Got early access to it. Been playing it. It's okay. It's a Bethesda title. I mean, what else do you want me to say? It's like I've seen more soul in a Bethesda title from something they took 7 years to make. And the biggest thing that they want to make an issue out of is pronouns. It's like you couldn't have fixed maybe some of the other problems, but you had to make sure you put pronouns in it. Like that was a priority for you in your woke culture, is we had to have pronouns in it. It's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, guy. And then here's the other thing. Larian Studios. By far, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be the game of the year, even the decade. It has some woke stuff into it too. You can be generally ambiguous. You don't get to pick your pronouns, obviously, but you can just be kind of like a dude with a female voice if you wanted to. But the thing is, it's a good game. You can get a lot of passes for being woke if you have a good game. Starfield is not a good game, so you're not going to get a pass. That's the biggest problem, is that it's just not a good game, and that's a problem.
And they probably think, who's ever in charge of this company probably think with them doing this, it's going to draw more people in. It's actually going to push more people away. Because believe it or not, the majority of American citizens are tired of this wokeism. Even people that bought into it initially, they are getting tired of hearing about it. They're getting tired of seeing it. People are getting tired. Don't even talk about it. Let people believe what they want to believe. As long as they're not in the game saying racial stuff, bigoted stuff, and doing stuff, just let them be. Let people have fun. Stop making everything about some political agenda, because all this is politics. Stop making everything about that, because you're sucking the enjoyment out of people, and it's done on purpose. All of this is done on purpose.
It's not fun. And so, like, this is the thing. It's like, that's why people aren't making a big deal about Larian having like all this kind of like weird stuff that you can do in it. It's because it's a good game. They're like, okay, I can overlook the wokeness a little bit because like you're not putting it in my face. It's not a major portion of the game. It's just kind of, it's a thing, it just leaves. The reason they do it is because it opens up the world to different types of play styles, which is fine. It's not for me. I'm not going to play that way. You don't have to play that way, but they're not trying to force you to play that way. Whereas like with Starfield, it's not a good game in the beginning to begin with. And then they're saying you have to pick your pronouns in the beginning. Even has no basis on whatever you do for the rest of the game. Like at all. It's like, why did that's a thing you could have removed and nobody would care because they wouldn't even know it was there. So why make a big deal out of it? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. It really doesn't. I'm just tired of all the woke stuff and everything that I try to enjoy. Like, look at Disney, for example. They have ruined every single IP that they've bought. Every single one of them. And it's not good. And these writers and actors are on strike when they've been like losing these companies money. There is no money to pay them. There is no money to give your stupid raises to for crap things that you've been writing. There is no money. You've lost all the money for these companies.
Yep.
So you're trying to bleed money from a rock when you've done nothing in the last 10 years, in the last decade, to make anything good other than woke garbage.
Yeah, and that, Donald Trump said it best: if you go woke, you go broke. And it's been proven time and time again. And I just don't understand why companies keep buying into it. They see what happens when other companies do it. Major companies, Target, big companies are doing this woke stuff. Movies are doing it. But they see the repercussions from them doing that. So why would they do that?
Yeah,
You know, makes no sense.
And people are saying it's like, oh, these CEOs are being, money hungry and they're not wanting to pay the actors a fair share. It's like these people make ridiculous amounts of money for what they produce. And they don't even produce things that are good anymore. Yeah, no, I did too. I lost all respect for Disney a long time ago too. It's like, you can only murder my childhood dreams so much before I stop caring about your company.
That's right.
And so that's exactly what they've done, especially with Star Wars. It's like, they've absolutely murdered that IP.
Yep.
Like, put it into the ground and then kicked it repeatedly. There's nothing left for them to ruin of that I've already given up on it.
Well,
Right?
yeah, I would say this new Ahsoka series on Disney Plus.
That's okay.
It's pretty good, man. I mean, it's
okay.
I'll give it.
Let's look at what they did with Mandalorian, right? The first 2 seasons were good, and then the third season they're just like, hey, let's make it about the female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
like,
this
murder
movie,
your own IP before it even gets off the ground. Amazing.
Yeah, this series is a female lead anyway, and she's a main Jedi, but it's still, but and you are right, it is kind of woke because all the main characters are pretty much
it's all female boss thing.
It's all females, Nothing against it, but exactly what you're saying,
It's the problem because it's not organic. Like, this is the thing that I have is like, it's okay to have. Okay, like I said, it's okay to have wokeness in things as long as it's good. Like with Larian Studios, right? In Baldur's Gate 3. They have wokeness in it. There are wokeness things there. I don't care because it's a good game. Right? If it was good, nobody would care. But it's not. They make absolutely stupid things that don't make sense for us to watch. And we're like, it's not good, so I'm not going to like it. And here's an even better reason why I don't like it is because of all this woke nonsense. And it bleeds over into politics, which is one of the things that brings to the next story, which is the state assembly passing a bill that says if you do not support your child's transition, you lose access to your kids. They are removing access to your children based on ideology that we're talking about. So you're saying it's just pronouns. Why are you afraid? This is exactly why I'm afraid. Is because stupid things like this lead to policies that affect real world people.
That parents affirm their children. They have since the dawn of time. Typically, it happens when their gender identity expression matches their biological gender. But what happens is when it doesn't, that's when the affirmation starts to wane. And that's what we're dealing with here. Although it's called the TGI bill, they're not mentioned anywhere in the law. What's mentioned in the law is the child's gender identity and expression and the parent's affirmation of that, whatever it is, because that is our duty as parents to affirm our children. That parents.
Yeah. So
if my son in his mind was a dope fiend, should I affirm that?
Yeah.
Or a drug dealer or a bank robber or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to affirm that? Because based off what she said a parent's job to affirm what their child wants to be, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is what they're saying is like the judge. It requires the judge to take into account whether the parents affirms a child's gender identity or gender expression in determining custody. It's heading to Newsom's desk, and he's going to sign it. And Elon Musk even weighed in on this. This bill is a wolf in sheep's clothing. What it would actually mean is that if you disagree with the other parent about sterilizing your child, you lose custody. Utter madness. And he's right. So go ahead.
Get it. Hey, they better get up out that state or be prepared to fight. Forget all that passive stuff. They come over there and try to take my kid from there. They're going to have a fight on their hands. I'll tell you that right now.
It's like I said, it's utter madness. And like Elon said, it's utter madness because how many people in divorces have done absolutely horrendous things to the other party just to hurt them?
Yep.
This is just another tool for people to hurt another party just because they can. and it's a law that allows them to do that. And that's exactly what is going to happen. So yeah, like the reason he was mad about this like current day situation is because of stupid things like this. It's not just about the pronouns. It's about everything that's tied to it. That is what's making people upset, right? Is because it turns into policy. These little culture war battles turn into policy and affect real world people. And it's affecting parents now because of it.
And you brought up like divorce, right? Say your kid is really young, 1 or 2, you get divorced from your spouse. And you have joint custody. So kid goes lives with one parent keeps telling the kid, and this has happened, keeps telling the kid, boy or girl, that they're the opposite gender. And they're feeding this to the kid. Kid goes back with the other parent. The parent says, no, you're not. You're a boy or a girl. And it goes back and forth, back and forth. The kid goes to the other parent and says, my dad says I'm a boy. And the mom's like, oh, he did? Well, you're a girl. What do you think you are? Well, I think I'm a girl. Okay, your dad's not affirming your gender. The father or the mother, in both cases, could lose custody over their kid because they're living in 2 different houses, teaching their kid their identity in 2 different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're right. This can become very, very dangerous.
Just like we had on the other episode with that lady in Washington, like because their kid said that they didn't give consent, totally turned up their entire house upside down because of it. Same thing with this. I don't affirm that. It's like, well, that sucks for you. You're losing custody of your kid.
Yep.
You're never going to see him again. So yeah, it's not about the pronouns. It's about the ideology.
It's about control, because how many times have you seen these left-wing, these woke politicians get up there and say, those aren't your children. Those are our children. The community's
just like our
children.
democracy.
Yeah. So they already think they have ownership of your children because they came out and said it. So parents, you better not take this. You better not take this one. You need to make an example out of anybody that tries to take your kid from you. So now they will think twice about that.
Yeah. Because like I said, like that's why they're always lying to you. They're telling you, oh, it's just one thing. It's just this. It's like, no, it's the steady, slow crawl of wokeness, right?
Yep.
It's only this one thing. Next thing, right?
It
all leads
something else.
Yeah, it always leads to something else.
It'd come down to the point to where your child is born and a doctor, a woke doctor, and be like, oh yeah, it has a penis, but that's a girl.
We should wait.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. That's a girl. And you say no, that's a boy. You'd be like, I'm looking at it. That's a boy. No, you can't take your kid without signing this paper saying it's a girl. And if you don't agree, we're just gonna take your kid from you. Right. It's gonna get all the way down to birth eventually.
Yep. So, and that, like I said, it's not about the pronouns. It's about everything. So when we get mad at these little culture war things, and they're like, "What's such a big deal about saying he or she or they or them and putting them in your titles?" Because it leads to all the other BS, to the point that they're using it to take away your kids. That is why it is dangerous, and why we need to completely fight against it. Because it affects everybody. And it's not just one thing, it's everything.
And another reason, like I said earlier, our society has existed for centuries without this crap.
Yep.
Perfectly fine. So why now?
I know. Why now? Why do we keep doing it? Why do we keep pushing it? Same thing with the Second Amendment. We've had guns for forever. And now, just because of one governor, she can just be like, nope. Imperial edict, no longer you can carry firearms for the next 30 days.
Yes, yeah.
So here's a ABC report coming out of New Mexico.
It's a pretty resounding message to everybody else in that community to report a crime, to tell us what's going on.
The governor's emergency order to suspend people's rights to carry firearms in public is raising concern among gun owners. Let's get right to reporter Julian Perez.
Yeah, that's right, Sasha. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham is receiving praise from local advocacy groups like New Mexicans to Prevent Gun Violence that believe this action needs to be taken. But as you mentioned, not everyone is thrilled, and one couple says their story relates to this issue.
No person other than a law enforcement officer or licensed security officer shall possess a firearm either openly or concealed.
That emergency order coming from the governor Friday. It means anyone in Albuquerque and the surrounding county who owns a gun can't have one in public for the next month. Michelle Lujan Grisham taking action after an 11-year-old boy was killed Wednesday night.
If that mandate had been in effect while we were there, Lynn and I would be dead. Simply dead.
Chuck DeCaro and his wife, Lynn Russell, believe this order to suspend Second Amendment rights could cause problems for public safety rather than aid it. Back in 2015, during a road trip, the two were held at gunpoint here in Albuquerque. Russell says if it weren't for them having their firearms and Chuck being able to protect himself and Lynn, they don't believe they would be here today.
I said, is this woman crazy? Because this is wrong every way you look at it.
As a former CNN news anchor and former Albuquerque resident, Russell questions the validity of this decision as she poses this question to Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham.
The population needs to be able to defend itself. So why take the Second Amendment away from the very people who need it the most?
Grisham arguing that this choice comes down to how many children are being killed in the state now.
Gun deaths are the leading cause of death for children 1 to 19 in New Mexico.
Now, those who violate this order during this 30-day stint could face civic penalties and fines of up to $5,000. Live in the studio, Julian Paras, KOAT Action 7 News.
Julian, thank you. On Monday, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff John Allen will hold a press conference explaining why they won't enforce the governor's order.
Which is the right call.
Good call. But, you know, if the people of Albuquerque and New Mexico abide by this order, they deserve exactly what they get. If every citizen, legal gun owning American that lived in New Mexico said, no, we're not doing it, what are they going to do about it? Like literally, what are they going to do about it? They're going to do nothing but get mad. They can't fine everybody. They can't arrest everybody. If you're carrying, they can't do it. But, you know, as good little scared citizens, what they're going to do, they're going to listen. They're going to bite.
They're going to abide by it.
Her Majesty has spoken.
Her imperial edict has been sent down. Oh, and BB, that's actually the next video that's coming up. I didn't think she could trump the Constitution. She absolutely believes that. Yes. And that's what's coming to the next video. This is from her own mouth that her duty to uphold the Constitution is not absolute. Where did we hear that before? The Second Amendment, the Constitution is not absolute.
Barack
I believe there was
Obama.
And Biden. Biden recently said that it is not absolute. So let's hear it from her words herself.
Yes, all the examples you cited are crimes. Kids shooting at other kids, shooting from cars. So what's the value of the civil order? Why not just do better law enforcement?
Both. The value of the order is that it gives me 3 things. 1, it says it's a statewide issue and it's a message to everyone to start leveraging their resources and arresting people. 2, the jurisdictions come at this, including with the DOJ restrictions, differently, without the leveraging and the additional resources, arresting, and where do they go? We got to make sure that everyone is bumping up their services. It's a message to the Metropolitan Detention Center. It's a message to the HMOs. You better figure out treatment. We have been sort of stalled out. To your point, this order basically says stop stalling out, and to your point, just arrest everyone. Well, I also have to have the ability, I can't arrest everyone. There are literally too many people to arrest. Well, this would allow us,
Ding, 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 ding.
Walking down a public street, they're not going to get arrested.
I can make the point that they should be. And this is the point. I'm willing to do anything and everything within a shred of evidence-based effort. Because if you're not horrified that on any street corner in too many cities in New Mexico, there is someone with a gun sticking out of their waist or their belt. And I'll tell you, if you're a young person, you're not allowed to have a handgun.
Well, it's a crime already.
I got it, but we won't be able to arrest all of them. So imagine, just in a perfect world.
What's the point?
If this was upheld, it gives all of these police officers the ability to focus on the real criminals.
Last
Ow.
Yeah. But your point
It's
is valid.
impossible.
You took an oath to the Constitution. Isn't it unconstitutional to say you cannot exercise your carry license?
With one exception, and that is if there's an emergency, and I've declared an emergency for a temporary amount of time, I can invoke additional powers. No constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute. There are restrictions on free speech. There are restrictions on my freedoms. In this emergency, this 11-year-old and all these parents who have lost all these children, they deserve my attention to have the debate about whether or not in an emergency we can create a safer environment. Because what about their constitutional rights? I took an oath to uphold those too. And if we ignore this growing problem without being bold, I've said to every other New Mexican, your rights are subrogated to theirs. And they are not, in my view.
This is how all Democrats feel.
Yep.
There are already laws against the crime, so how are their rights?
I got it, but again, if I'm unsafe, who's standing up for that right? If this government is so
This
out
is
of
making me
control,
mad.
I know, right?
somebody should do something. I'm doing
Somebody
as much
do
as I know
something.
to do.
Madam Governor,
Yep.
do you really think that criminals are going to hear this message and not carry a gun in Albuquerque
Right.
on the streets for 30 days?
No. But here's what I do think.
What's the
It's a pretty resounding message.
what is
Oh my
what is the
God.
point when you admit that you know criminals aren't going to follow the
Oh
law?
my God. So
What is the point, man?
what she's saying is somebody's right trumps other people's right for safety. So what if
Yeah.
me carrying my gun makes me feel safe, but that person not carrying a gun makes them feel safe?
Right.
So she's saying that person not carrying a gun's safety trumps what makes me feel safe.
And what's even worse about this whole thing is she knows she's violating the Constitution.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to make it easier to read, but apparently not. So I don't even know bringing this up will actually do anything, but no law shall abridge the right of the citizen to keep and bear arms for security or and defense, for lawful hunting and recreational use, and for other lawful purposes. But nothing herein shall be held to permit the carry concealed weapons. No municipality or county shall regulate in any way an incident the right to keep and bear arms. So that's the New Mexico Constitution. It says you cannot do that. And the Democrats, as always, treat the Constitution as paper. It's just toilet paper that they're going to wipe their asses with.
Barack Obama has said that it's just a piece of paper. Well, it's not a piece of paper. And for one, the Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the land. We've talked about this many, many times. If our country would just go back to the Constitution, we wouldn't have half the problems that we have. Now, on her point about criminals, let's say people do follow it. Let's say your law-abiding citizen follows the rule. They don't carry. Criminals are still going to carry, as we all know.
And she admits on camera that they're going to carry.
And criminals are going to carry. You catch the criminal with a gun, you get them off the street. Does that get the guns off the street?
No.
No. So they can just go up and bop people upside the head, rob anybody they want, and you can't defend yourself. So now you took the defense from the people that you wanted to keep safe. You took their defense away. So now what about their safety?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Like I said, it's like Democrats only like the Constitution when it it helps them, and they will tear it up if it doesn't fit their needs. So, like, I remember back in the day when they said, "Oh, nobody's coming after your guns." It's like they're never going to do that. It's like, "Oh, nobody's going to come after your First Amendment," and then we saw that too. Like we've seen them try to erode the very foundations of this country over and over again. As at first, it was the Second Amendment. We told you they're going to come after the First eventually. Nobody believed you, and then they started doing that. It's like no constitutional law is absolute. That's the problem. The constitutional law is supposed to be absolute. When it says you shall not be infringed, literally means that shall not be infringed. Period.
It doesn't say should. It says shall. There's a difference. But the thing is, with the second protects the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Without the second, we wouldn't have any of those rights.
Important
it is the most important right. So if they take the second, they can easily take the rest.
Yeah.
At the snap of a finger. And then she threw in there police officers, okay.
Yeah.
And security. You know why she said security, trained security? Because her people,
right,
her security. So here's what every American citizen needs to do. They just need to go out and get their private security license, pay the money, get your little card saying that you're private security, and then you all can carry a gun. Because she said trained security, right? Everybody needs to get their trained security license. It's not hard. People are going to train you to do it. You pay the money, and then you can carry.
But this is the thing that's the issue, though, is that Democrats believe they can just do whatever they want, and it's like, well, sue us then, and then it'll go to the court, and then by then they'll be like, okay, fine, I'll just order another one, and then you can sue me again. They don't care about the law. They only use the law when it benefits them. Period.
Yeah, it's qualified immunity, no different than police officers. And I've talked about this with somebody before. The reason the reason some police officers do what they do, because for one, they don't have to pay lawyer fees. You know, so if you sue them, it's not them coughing up the money to pay that fee. It's the same with these politicians. You can sue them, but nothing's coming out of their pockets. This is why they say, sue me. I don't care. I don't care. You know, taxpayers are going to pay for my lawyer fees anyway. You know, so this is why they just throw that term out there. Do it. Sue me. I'll just come back again. You can sue me again. It doesn't matter. You can sue me again, because they're not paying for it. If everyone was suing them and they had to pay all that out of their own pockets, they would think twice about half the things they did.
Yeah. And I think that should be something that they should do, is make it, especially with police officers. Like, if you're getting sued, it should come out of your pocket, not the state's.
That's right.
Because that was your individual action. I mean, like, yeah, but I was acting on duty. Yeah, but sometimes when you act on duty, you're not acting in the self-interest of the state. You're acting in your own self-interest. So,
and you know,
and once that is determined that you were acting in your own volition, then it should be on you. It shouldn't be on the taxpayers to pay.
Yeah, and we can go back to the national emergency that she claimed as a national emergency. This is why she's passing it. Go back to what we talked about this earlier. Go back to what Joe Biden said, or the bill he signed about national emergencies and a WHO. You know, so they're going to start labeling everything as a national emergency. They put gun violence on there. They put climate change on there. They put COVID on there. They're going to put I mean, you name it, they're going to name it. They're going to say it's a national emergency. And the national emergency they signed off when one is declared, the WHO can come in and take over, and we lose all sovereignty. Like we were talking earlier, this is a test ground to see if they can do it nationwide. They're going to see how people abide, if people are going to fight back, if people are going to resist. And if people don't resist, they're going to be like, oh, that was easy. Let's try this next state. Oh, let's try it over here in this state too. And then eventually we're giving up our gun rights, and they're not even lifting a finger. Really, we're just doing it. Don't abide by this stuff, man.
We're just doing it. It's fine.
Don't abide by it. Keep that Constitution in your back pocket. If they create a law and it's not written in that Constitution, outside of murder, you know, stuff like that, don't abide by it. If the Constitution says I can have a gun, guess what? I can have a gun. It doesn't even matter if you're a felon. The Constitution says nothing about a felon in there, because every single founding father would be considered a felon and a seditionist today.
Yeah. And you're right, by the definition, like they do everything by their definition. When they say democracy, our democracy, they don't include you.
No.
It does not include you. You are not part of their democracy.
Well, you know who
when
else
they say our democracy, it's not you.
You know who else used to use the term democracy? Communists, right?
Yeah.
So communist, that's another communist term. Whenever I see a leftist call us a democracy on social media, I said, you're a communist, because that's the term communists use. They know we're a republic. They know it's written in our Constitution. It's in our Declaration of Independence. It's in our anthem. We are a republic. But they say democracy is a mind control thing.
Over and over again, they'll say
all they got to do is keep saying it, and people are going to regurgitate it. That is communism. Without saying communism, because they can't come out and say it.
Right? They can't say it's we're a communist utopia that we're trying to make America. Ooh.
Yes.
It's like never in the history of the world has any communist country turned into a utopia. It turns into a hellscape.
Yes.
So
exactly what they want.
I doubt this is going to be anything good. They're going to challenge it, but she's already done it. That's the problem. Is like she doesn't care that it supersedes the Constitution and that it's illegal what she's doing. I think here's the thing. I think there should be a law where if a person like that knowingly violates the Constitution. Like she says, she knows she's violating the Constitution, and the Constitution is not absolute.
Treason.
That they should lose their seat. Period. Because if you knowingly violate the Constitution and make something you know goes against the law, then it should be a crime. Period.
Well, it should be considered treason.
Yeah.
You know, because for one, she said something about her oath, even my oath. Well, why did you take an oath if you're not going to abide by the oath that you swore to?
If you're going to be an oath breaker, then why even make it in the first place, man?
Yeah, why? I mean, it should be considered treason, right?
Yeah. Or at least sedition.
Sedition?
At the very least.
Yep.
You know, seditious behavior. It should be anyway.
But, you know, more and more citizens just need to come out and say, we're not listening. We're not playing by your rules anymore. Oh, you want us to do now? We're not doing that. You want us to now? We're not doing that. You want me to get my vehicle registered? Now we're not doing that no more. Imagine 300-something million Americans saying, screw that. What are they going to do?
It's going to come down to that eventually, like I said.
People got to understand that. What are they going to do? They're not going to do anything but sit there and complain and tell us you got to do your duty to the country. No, you don't. I'm only obligated really to take care of my family. That's my obligation.
Yep.
You figure the rest out. That's why you got elected. You figure out how we get money and what we're going to do with all that. But Americans are going to abide based off of fear.
Yep.
Notice how she threw in there jail and all this and fines and all this other.
Yeah.
It's to scare people to comply. If you have to use fear to make somebody comply, you're not an effective leader.
No.
At all.
Exactly. I don't know. Like I said, it's just the world's burning and we're just watching it go slowly.
Exactly.
And Michael, did you have something you wanted to go over before we leave?
Yeah, real quick. So, you know, there's a lot of social media bullying going on. And so a lot of these people use their platforms to attack, to dox, to destroy people's reputation, to destroy their lives. People have killed themselves from this kind of harassment. So later on down the road, probably next month, I'm going to start exposing a lot of these people. I'm just getting everything together, and I have a couple more people that are working with me, and we're going to put their name and faces all over for the whole world to see. And we're going to show you guys where you can find these people, where you can find them, because they're using these platforms to lie, to dox, to give out kids information, to put personal information out, and they don't care. There's no remorse. So if you see it, hit us up in our email, give us a name so we can add them to the list. But this has got to stop. We got more important things going on in our country, and this bullying with these fake conservatives. They call themselves conservatives, but they're fake. They're frauds. We're going to expose them all. And
sounds good.
It's going to be a good time when I start name dropping and face dropping up in this thing, because I'm tired of it.
Right on. So we will be with the Savage Patriots tomorrow night, live at 6:30 Eastern time as usual. And then rest of the week we do that Wednesday and Friday as well.
That's right.
Time. You can follow us on everything, and you can go to our link tree, and all the links are in a very nice, friendly place. So you can find that in the description below. And as always, America, we love you. And we're
out.
Out.
Stay frosty. War.